All right, I'm gonna send you this ASMR thing.
Okay.
It's this. Yeah, this is a girl. She did like a sci-fi series. All right, I want you to both watch it and listen to it and how horrifying it is.
Oh my god.
Tell me when you start.
Oh, this is
it.
wait. This is episode 2. Am I gonna need to know episode 1 to know what's happening?
You don't need to know the story.
Okay.
Because the
if I
first
get
one's
lost,
a girl
I'm gonna have to
booking
ask some questions.
She's like a travel agent booking your flight, and now you're just like in cryostasis.
Oh my god.
Have you started yet?
I've started. I'm 18 seconds in.
Okay. A lot of money.
This has a lot of views.
Departure. Oh no, the A is floating away.
Oh god, where's it going? I'm telling you, these things are stressing me out more than they are.
I don't know, I guess that's the ship.
It's a symbolism for ASMR.
But this whole thing is supposed to just be like a audio trip for people with a certain affliction, where this will just be like porn to them, or like
with Sherry 3000,
like doing shrooms.
Here she goes.
Is a thing of the past.
Sherry 3000.
The Sherry 3000
oh my
fleet
god.
of Android laborers.
There she is.
Is your automated workforce solution of the future.
There's 5 of her. What?
Eliminate costly human overhead.
Wait, is Sherry a person, or I'm already lost?
She's an AI, I think.
Oh shit!
And retirement plans.
There was 5 of them.
Salaries? Not with Sherry.
Promotions.
With our Android workforce, your operating costs are
those are her views on her YouTube video.
Upgrades and low energy bills.
She's
so wait, we're talking about. I'm so lost.
Alright, so this whole thing in the background is really just for you to listen and just like, yeah, this sounds so good.
Utilizing the latest advancements.
So is that what I'm feeling in my pants right now? Is that why that's happening?
So if you just jump around, jump to like 4 minutes in,
you'll also save yourself
and it's her talking to you in
For
cryostasis.
any reason you need to leave your bed to roam
what
about
the
cabin.
fuck?
Right, like her voice, she's doing this really specific voice that's nice to listen to, but freaks me out.
Keeping you grounded.
I don't know if that's nice to listen to.
I don't
like
like
kind of freaky.
Floating along the ceiling.
I don't like this at all.
Do these all come with like visuals, or?
I don't think they all do. I think this is like the highest
blue.
level.
She has Google glasses now.
Simply by pressing the button.
Yeah, she's like checking your stats and stuff. Alright, next, the craziest thing is, she's just talking to you, and then she starts finding ways to work in random objects that she scratches and feels.
What? Wait, I want to skip through and
go to like 5 minutes 30 seconds right now. She's just tapping her fingers on.
Wait, where?
For like 5 minutes 30 seconds.
Is that a boot?
Yeah,
she's
due to the magnetism, which may affect your natural stride.
The magnetism.
Wait, hold on. I have to figure out how she got the boot.
You need to get to the story part.
Don't work on all surfaces of the ship.
Okay, I picked the boots on my in-flight menu.
Which are lined
and she.
white lights.
Oh, I don't like the way she like whispered. You'll quickly become accustomed to it. Like as if you're gonna become one of her.
Much time using these, as the majority of your flight.
Time travel Tuesdays.
And
the boots are one size fits all. That's how we know we're in the future. You get a one size fits all boot.
But somehow the sound of her fingernails drumming on the boot
stasis preparation
is enduring. Is like good.
I can barely hear it.
Oh, this little scratches.
Oh, I hear robot sound. There's something else. She's gonna have something else. What does she have now?
I left the boots. I
couldn't
couldn't handle the boots anymore.
What is she doing?
Yeah.
Did you get to the head scratching thing?
Question.
No, but she's got like a Men in Black glowing dildo shoving in my face now. I'm at like 8 minutes.
Yeah, in 10 minutes in, she pulls out what looks like a conch shell, like you'd put in the bottom of a hermit crab.
Yeah, she looks like she's just reaching into my pants here. And she pulls
right?
out.
You feel like there should be a thing where she just insinuates, like, I'm now going to reach down and give you a hand job.
You hear like an unzip, like, what the fuck? She just pull out like an umbilical cord?
What? It looks like a sea anemone.
Yeah, and it's
it looks like those like jelly things that you can like have on. It has like on a jelly rope, and you can like slap it against the wall.
Oh, the hands?
yeah, but it has like a pufferfish on the end.
She's putting it on you or something. We don't really know what exactly it does. Yeah, then
what the hell is she wearing?
I want to know how she describes her job.
Oh, when you talk to people randomly.
Yeah. Well, I tap on things.
This is like a face mask. It looks like a turtle shell.
It's a Bane mask.
Oh my god, it is.
She puts it on you and it somehow like stimulates your brain, but she also gets to scratch it. And then you like select your dream scenario.
As if you're not already like in a dream.
Oh, yeah, they take you to another one where you're in a VR world, and then another girl pops up halfway into the video.
Dream
it's like a collaboration.
The Dark World.
There's an ASMR like federation.
Oh my god, it's a hippie. I'm in the woods, and she has like a bandana around her head.
I think the thing that's really unsettling about all this is that this is what the future of porn will actually be. This is what I think it will be. I think it'll be like you just load up a VR program and then, yeah, I'm 2005 Britney Spears. I'm here to go on a date with you, and like that's what porn is at this point.
As long as they use their normal voices, these people sound like they're trying to make me hear the sounds their mouth is actually making instead of their voice. So they're talking.
It's been a while since someone addressed you.
Like that.
Now that I have your attention.
And then they start absorbing your head. They start sucking on the top of your head.
She has like a typical like outro for like a vlog channel. Like, hey guys, thanks for watching.
We can support them on Patreon.
Oh yeah, wait. Oh yeah, maybe her Patreon is where is it?
$3,000 a month.
Yep. Yeah, that's pretty solid.
What the fuck?
Do you guys want to start an ASMR like channel?
Can we finish this Sonic thing first, though?
Okay, alright, hold on. Let's talk about Sonic.
I'm not rushing you, but, I mean, didn't we say we were going to do this, like, in January or something?
Yes, it's been going on for a while.
Yeah.
Just a little we got new information, so putting it off may have been a good idea.
And more
well, we wanted to wait, I guess, because after E3, right? Because we knew there was going to be some Sonic shit dropped on people.
There was.
It'd be best to get it together.
Some real Sonic shit dropped.
Okay, let's just jump into it. Jimmy, what would you like to bring forward for the Sonic Society?
Do I need like a like dip and chips and stuff, or like?
No. I mean, I don't mean like what did you bring forward for the potluck. I mean like what is your first? What is the first thing you want to bring forward to the Sonic Society for discussion?
Okay. Let's talk about how I guess the glaring changes they made to the characters.
Okay. What? I mean, Sonic's always had a scarf.
The character.
I like the changes. I'm not gonna lie. I think they're cool. I actually
just quietly bit his tongue like.
I actually grew on like the big knuckles kind of grew on me just because it adds more diversity to the cast. I guess.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he doesn't look just like a recolor. I mean, he still looks kind of stupid, but Knuckles has always been kind of stupid. So.
It does somehow make more sense for a guy who can climb walls with his fists.
Yeah, he'd be super buff if he was digging around like that all the time.
Though I do like that, like all of his strength. If you want to be strong, your strength should be in your legs, not actually like if he's just doing vanity muscles. Like he's just like a Guido guy at the gym now who just like flexes out.
I think what they did to Sonic is. It's a little weird how his legs just continue to get, like, more and more, like, strands of spaghetti.
Yeah.
When you think with the amount of running he does, they'd be more like Knuckles' arms. Like,
what if they just
he wouldn't be aerodynamic, though.
No, but, I mean, you're running all the time. You're running all the time.
Wait, no, Jimmy, you hit it. He should just have super jacked legs. He should have, like...
Exactly.
Like the size of Tails' body on both of his legs.
Oh, my God.
Then, while they're punching their way through the game, Knuckles could, like, sit on Sonic's shoulders.
And they'd be
one big, really buff thing.
They do the fusion dance, and they're just, like, a purple buff guy.
Wait, guys, I kind of like that a lot, though. I genuinely kind of like that a lot, though. And then Tails and Amy fuse, and it's just like, oh, kid.
It's like you just get like this really androgynous looking character. Like
I got a wrench and a hammer. All right, go work on a railroad, I guess, or something.
I think what I'm most worried about for this game is it just being utter garbage. Like, and from what I heard, it is utter garbage. 'Cause I was so upset with Lost World. Like, it was the biggest slap to the face because Generations was like, it was like gold. Like
that's right, and that's the thing. No one played Generations.
No,
it was like the only good one.
I know. Every time people just
did Generations not do well?
On it.
I think Generations did not do well. I haven't.
I don't know. I don't know if a lot of people like remember it. Unfortunately,
That's like one of the only Sonic games that I actually like. I went out and I got it on day one. I was like,
got
I
it
have to
day
have
one
this.
too. I
And
get
it was on
most of them
sale
day
too,
one.
right?
I don't know. But
It was
I know
just
that's on
cheaper because it
everything
was
now.
shorter. I think it was $10 cheaper than usual.
Yeah, I got it for like $40 brand new, and that wasn't even
Yeah.
on sale. I was like, oh, cool, it's a discount title as well.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to find some sales data. Sonic data. This is from 2012, so that's like right around when it came out. For the end of the fiscal year, Sonic Generations in Europe, Japan, and the United States, 1.8 million units. It's not great.
That's not. I don't know. I mean,
I'm
for
not
a
going to pretend I
Sonic
know what a
title-
good game sale.
According to
number
this,
is.
Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games got 3.2 million.
Oh,
So-
that's disappointing.
So
That
that's
is.
like they sold almost twice as much of Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games for 2012 London. So yeah, that shows. I don't think it did super well, and that was like the only one that got like the 3D right for me. So
I think because it wasn't on a Nintendo platform, and like honestly, little kids are the ones that give Sega all their money for the most part. Because most of their older fan base are like, I'm done with this. Sonic has screwed up too many times.
Yeah, I think
Secret Rings, trash. Like Black
I
Knight,
think-
trash. All of these games have been awful since pretty much Heroes was. Like,
I think
the
Generations came
beginning
around
of
at a
the
point
fall.
where everyone was kind of like, we've figured it out. Like you had, I think Sonic Colors was the last chance. People were like, okay, we're gonna try one more time, and then Colors was like kind of disappointing. And
I
then they,
liked it, but I thought that the Wisp power-ups were a little unnecessary. I felt like they needed to just add them. They were like, well, it can't be just the daytime Unleashed levels, which was like, whoa, they've learned that they can at least do Sonic right, but they just had to put in their little gimmick. Like, every title has that gimmick, and even in Generations, the gimmick was, oh, old Sonic. But it was good. It was
yeah,
like,
and we don't
found
need that.
it.
Like, it really could be either.
I
Sonic
really would
or
have
you
liked
play
just
Jerome.
3D Sonic.
No one would really mind.
I felt like the 2D ones in Generation was kind of filler for me.
Yeah,
Oh, really?
much
See,
more
I liked
enjoyed the
I liked coming
3D.
back to them, and I liked kind of seeing how some shitty versions from like Sonic 06 as 2D were.
I always
bit
like
better.
every time I started a level, I was like, I'll play 2D first so I can save the good level for after.
Oh yeah, but the 3D ones were really good. They like actually made sense, like blazed through, and they almost did like temple run mechanics where you're just like left, middle, right.
Yeah,
that was
yeah.
really
they
solid.
didn't like do too much of that. Like they didn't do too much of the trigger shifting back and forth, which is
Yeah.
what the. I don't know if you saw the gameplay of the 3DS version of Boom. There was a lot of that of just temple
Interesting.
running.
They worked that in. Yeah, I heard the 3DS version was better. I'll share. I guess I was the only one that went to go to E3. I was so excited to try Sonic Boom because I had a little bit of hope for the cartoon. We can talk about the cartoon, but I went to line up at Sonic Boom, and this is what I've noticed every time I go to E3 or a show floor where Sonic's playing. There's no line to play. Like no one's ever waiting to play Sonic. When Sonic Lost World was at last year's E3, when I immediately went there, there was no line. You just had to wait for behind the person currently playing, and it was like, I'm not trying to just joke or be exaggerate. There were two guys in the Sonic area with black fedoras playing Sonic, and I was like, God damn it! Like,
That's what it is. That's what it is.
Can we not be that demographic? There's others. This aren't as bad. But I waited in line to play Sonic Boom, and I was watching a guy ahead of me play it, and I just went, "What? What is this? Why is Sonic just kicking people over and over again?" I just like, okay, well maybe he's gonna run around. Oh, he's just kicking people. Same.
Looks like he runs a little bit.
Looks like the same combo.
Yeah.
It was just like, and then I turned to. I was with Holly Conrad was with me, and she had been making fun of me for being really excited about it. I went, Holly, let's just leave this place. Let's just leave this area.
Let's just leave this
Because I'm
depressing-
genuinely really bummed and don't even want to play it.
I don't know. I think what the whole thing is with like the cartoon is like they were totally like, let's make a Sonic cartoon, and they like announced that like a year ago, and everybody was like, cool, and they were like, you know what we should do? Make a game to go along with it. And I feel like they just found people and they were just like, let's put Sonic in it, or they were just like, hey, make a game with these. And
I'm
they're
kind of
like,
glad though, because isn't this the last game with the Nintendo exclusivity thing?
Yeah.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
No,
I think
I'm
it's
not
the last
sure.
one.
I think it is. I know that
It was the Olympic Games, Sonic,
Lost
World, and then this, and then
Yeah.
I think the exclusivity is done because another good thing about Generations was they on the PC version, those fans made all new levels.
Yeah,
that
I've
were
been meaning to
good
play
and
those.
stuff.
Like, so all the stuff from Unleashed, right? Is that what it was?
Yeah, they made all the levels good and like balanced with Generations' sort of updated physics engine. And then I know there's a lot of mods for models. I know I've seen a lot of people play like Rouge and Shadow. And,
I've seen one where you play as a realistic hedgehog. And
I've seen one where you play as a giant penis that's erected.
That's the one that I figured you were gonna bring.
Yeah, that's the only Sonic Generations mod I know, besides one where you play as Shadow. And that's basically it.
Yeah, but at least they're using the last exclusivity one to be something I probably won't end up playing.
Yeah, and it's also a newer developer, right? Like Big Red Button. I don't think they have too many titles under their belt. I was trying to look them up when they first announced them. I was like, who is this person that gets to take over this franchise?
Apparently they worked on like some Sony titles, and you could totally see, I forget what they were because it's been a long time since I looked them up, but I know they worked on some stuff that everyone was super excited about, and then like you can look at the gameplay, I'm like, yeah, this is good, but it doesn't like work with Sonic. It's I'm not excited about this game anymore. I was very excited. I was like, you know what?
And it just slowly, like, even during E3, I saw some, like, videos. I was like, okay, this could still be good. It's going to be really different, but I could still like it. But then after watching people's actually playing it, I was like, maybe not.
I mean, I didn't get to play the running levels, which looked a lot like almost like Sonic. Here's a little nitpick. I hate when a whole group of people get to run alongside as fast as Sonic. I don't know why it's really...
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't.
It's just like, when you see Sonic and Knuckles and Amy and Tails all just like with their arms out just running the same thing. It's like, so what's the point? What's the point of Sonic being the fastest thing?
Yeah.
When that happens, Sonic's just useless. Everyone else kind of has something, but Sonic would just... If everyone could run as fast as him, then what's the point of him?
Yeah, Tails can fly, Knuckles can dig and glide and beat the shit out of things, and then you just have Sonic, he's like, I'm fast.
And, well, now there's this new, like, lasso mechanic, too, where a lot of stuff seems like we pull tethers and pull things, and I was like, did someone think that thing from Chaotix, where you were chained to someone, was, like, the coolest idea, and they wanted to bring it back?
Oh my god.
It's really weird and just kind of like a thing. It feels like, I have no reason to justify this theory, but it feels like it was a mechanic from another game they were making, and they're just like, now it's in Sonic. Like, now it's a Sonic thing.
I was watching a clip today of... I really hadn't watched much of the E3 stuff, because I saw some clips, I saw the commercial for the trailer, or the TV show, trailer for the TV show, and I was like, okay, I guess that's it. I'll wait to see what people playing the demo think. And then I saw some horrible things that people are not excited about. So I just completely like tuned it out. But I watched a clip today of Sonic and Knuckles sort of like, and like the whole group, and they were getting ready to go on a mission. So they're walking through the woods and collecting rings and stuff. And it's so like jarring, like the camera's spinning everywhere because it's a super narrow path and doesn't know who to follow, and it's only Sonic that they're following, but and it was weird. But then they get to this point where like Sonic and Knuckles have this interaction where they're like, let's go, and then they look at Tails and Amy and they're like, we're gonna go over here, and then they run off. But then Sonic and Knuckles proceed to talk to each other for the entirety of the level, and they make like the worst jokes. Like they go from like a forest all of a sudden out of nowhere to this like purple mechanical area, and Knuckles like, this doesn't look like the beach anymore. I'm like, you weren't on a beach, so that doesn't make sense. And then Sonic's like, you could say that again, and Knuckles like, this doesn't look like the beach anymore. I'm like, I don't know if that was like meant to be a thing, because Sonic never says, good one, Knuckles. He just ignores it and then starts talking about something else, and then Knuckles is like, I should have expected this, and Sonic didn't even say anything. I'm like, what happened? And then Sonic's like, I hate snakes. I'm like, I'm not kidding. It's what happens, and I don't know what it's like the direction they're going for with this, because the last time they had characters stating the obvious was in 06 when Sonic is in the Crisis City level, and he's like, there's a car in the air. I'm like, no shit. No shit,
That's
Sonic.
like Amy in the other gameplay one where she was saying, what was it, nice kill, Sonic? She said it like multiple times, and that's all the comments were on
even
the
saying
gameplay.
Even kill is kind of weird.
Yeah, saying nice kill, Sonic is not something I would expect to hear, but...
Way to slaughter him, Sonic, and then...
Chop off their
Genocide.
heads, Sonic.
The
Tails.
weird thing is
Genocide,
this is
Sonic.
probably gonna do pretty well for a game just because of the TV show being on. Isn't it on Cartoon Network?
Yeah. Can we talk about
Yeah,
the
so
TV
they're
show
gonna
a little
sell
bit?
the game. The game's gonna sell because of the TV show.
Mike
let's
Pollock is gonna carry that TV show.
Who's going to? Oh, Mike Paul. Oh, the Robotnik
The voice
actor?
of Eggman. He has been doing really well. I consistently find him enjoyable to listen to, even in the age when we had good old Jason Griffith voicing Sonic and his demon laugh. You can find that clip. It's great. But I think the only one that was ever enjoyable to listen to was Mike Pollock. And he's done tons of other things in other like TV shows. But I know that when they did the switch to the new cast with Roger Craig Smith and several other people I don't know, he was the only one to stay because a lot of people actually liked him. So that's good, and it shows that he still has that like wacky delivery in the TV show. It's not like the characters might be a bit different, but he still has like it's like the same Eggman. It's not like they're going for some weird dictator like one like they did.
Yeah,
with the
I've
older
come
Sonic
around to him.
cartoons.
It's still being like he's now the definitive Robotnik voice for me now because I've heard him for so long. I still think of like Sonic X and kind of cringe a little bit because wasn't he the voice of Sonic X? Or was like
He
that
was. He
okay.
was. It was when they switched to the 4Kids cast. So.
Oh god, yeah. But I'm more. Here's what as soon as they announced the Sonic Boom cartoon last year, I have no clout whatsoever. But I like called my manager I have for script. I was like, please, can you do whatever you can to get me a meeting to write for this show, please. And so I've now stalked every writer that's been staffed on it.
Yeah.
And the staff is super all over the place. Like it's always an interesting. And I also think it's like somehow a French production a little bit. I could be wrong.
So. I think so. Wouldn't surprise me.
I just want to read off a few of the writer credits. I'm just going to go down, like, randomly grab them, because there's already, like, 13 people's names listed as writers.
It is French-American, by the way.
Yeah, just some of the things that some of the writers have done for, and this is not, shouldn't base them based off necessarily what shows, but gives you an idea of it. One of them wrote an episode of Johnny Test.
Oh, Jesus.
There were at least two of them I know they were, like, Robot Chicken writers. Yeah,
Okay.
like, long-term Robot Chicken writers. Let's see. Phil of the Future and Lizzie McGuire.
Oh,
Yeah, those shows were awesome, okay?
Let's see. Here's another one. George of the Jungle, that terrible Flash show. Lazy Town.
Yes.
Here
Oh
Comes
my
Peter
God.
Cottontail, the movie.
Man,
okay.
they made a movie out of Here Comes Peter Cottontail?
course.
Yes,
they
they
did.
have.
Some show called Toot and Puddle. Never heard of that.
I think I've heard of
Sounds
that.
gross.
I think I've heard of Toot and Puddle. Hold on. Toot and Puddle. Yes, I have. It's about two little pigs. It's based off of children's books that I used to have read to me when I was a little kid. And do not disrespect Toot and Puddle, except you can. But I mean, whatever. Go ahead, continue.
No, that's just a sampling of some of their writer credits. I mean, not to judge them at all based on like some of those shows, or they could be really, really good, and they just wrote for a show that wasn't great, and they're
Okay.
really good.
Well,
But-
I thought the trailers or whatever, I thought they were pretty good.
Yeah.
I like the Knuckles where he's like, "You can be my sidekick." I was like, that was funny. It was a good one.
I liked the evil ham. I thought was hilarious.
That was pretty good. Yeah.
No, I liked all of those. The only one I had a little hesitation to, it really made me cringe, was it was a spotlight on the new character, Styx.
Oh, they
jeez.
made something about the new character?
It was like
I didn't
behind the
see
scenes,
that.
like showing the voice acting and showing them in the studio. So you hear like 4 or 5 of Styx's lines, and it's just that kind of like, I hate the term, but like LOL random type jokes where it was like Styx is like, "Oh, see, the government planted the wires in our head." I'm like, wait, so she's a conspiracy theory nut? She basically was a joke that referenced like knowledge of the FBI and just kind of like persons with weird disorders where they think people are like gang stalking them.
Yeah.
I was like, what is that joke
Is-
coming from?
Is a jungle badger actually a thing?
I don't
know.
think so.
Okay.
Jumping
Yeah.
back a little bit to when you mentioned Johnny Test.
Yeah.
If anyone you know, if anyone is ever involved in that show, be wary, because that show is
It was
like
really bad.
it was so like it was garbage. Like the only sound effect they use in that show is a whip crack, and they use it for
everything.
They use it for everything. Please do yourself the favor of looking up like a 30-second clip. No, watch an entire episode of Johnny
why
Test.
would you do that?
And count
No,
how
I
many
couldn't make
times
it.
I've made it, because I used to watch that show when it was on Kids WB.
Cartoon Network played it a
So-
long time. They played it a lot.
Yeah, it was something else. I'll tell you that much.
Who is?
Apparently, the woman who voices Styx has also at one point in time voiced Sif from the Marvel franchise.
What?
Thor. Yeah, she's voiced Sif in the Avengers, Earth's Mightiest Heroes TV series.
She was
the voice of
Olga.
Sif.
Olga Pataki.
Are you serious?
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wait,
I
maybe
haven't
she's an
gotten down that
accomplished
far.
voice actress.
Oh yeah, she
Olga
did a voice.
Pataki.
She voiced Adam Lyon in My Gym Partner's a Monkey, a show that only I probably know.
I remember that one.
Adam
I didn't really
Lyon?
watch it.
Yeah, he was a boy who went to a human school, but his last name is Lion, and they spelt it with an I, not a Y. And then all of a sudden, now he has to go to a school only for animals in a zoo.
Wait, that's My Gym Partner's a Monkey.
That
That's
is
basically-
My Gym Partner's a Monkey.
Okay, I thought. Oh, Adam Lyon was his name. Sorry, I
Yeah,
thought his name
that
was
was the
Yes,
name.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like Johnny Test, the main thing that really rubbed me the wrong way was it was just so Dexter's Lab reversed. Like, that's all it was.
Except, like, the sisters were, like, abusive to the kid.
Yeah.
Like, making him try very dangerous things.
And that's what you made, Jimmy, you made it sound like the show's good. That pitch right there was just like, I'm on. I'm gonna start watching Johnny Test.
No,
I never
don't
really watched it. I
watch
saw a
Johnny
clip
Test.
when they were talking about the sound effects just to see what they were talking about how they use it for everything, which they do. I just never understood how they could name a show Johnny Test and not get in trouble with Johnny Quest.
That's
Oh, it's
immediately
true.
what I
Yeah,
used to
because it's
think
such
about.
a like wink, wink, nod, nod. Just almost
it's
like,
like
a
it's not
parody.
even a wink. It's like I'm gonna steal it and make your title worse.
But it doesn't have anything to do with, like, the premise of Johnny Quest either. So it's not even, like, a clever nod. It's just, like...
Is
sounds
his
similar.
last name actually Test?
Yes. His name is Johnny
What?
Test.
So like, but the Venture Brothers plays off of that, and they make fun of the quests. That's just okay. That's like having a new cartoon character, and you just call him like Ricky Mouse, and it's a mouse, and he's his own adventures. Like, but isn't that kind of funny? His name's like another monkey that you know about.
Monkey.
That's the whole thing.
Another monkey?
Oh, sorry,
Mickey
another
Mouse?
mouse. I just,
Oh, yes. My favorite mouse, Mickey Monkey.
yeah, I think I have more hope for the show. At least that'll be like somewhat okay, right? It
I think
reminds
the
me
show
of,
could be good.
The Pac-Man show that's out now. Have you guys seen that at all?
No.
Oh, my God. It is... I've watched a good amount of that, and it made me want to do horrible things to myself.
But it reminded me of that a little bit because they're just gonna make a like very cheaply, relatively like 3D CG show for kids.
That's what kind of worries me is because it looks really empty. Like all of the areas look super. It's just a desert and then Sonic, which is weird.
I'm trying to think of shows like that where they just kind of cut corners in the environments. It almost reminds me of. Do you guys remember that terrible cartoon Code Lyoko?
Yo, I was just about to
Yes.
bring it up. You have no idea
Totally
how
Lyoko.
much I love that show,
No,
but
it's so
openly,
awful.
I love that show, but I openly acknowledge how uncomfortable those foreheads make me look.
Giant
That's how
foreheads.
I was like, yeah, okay, I could see Sonic being a French animated show because Code Lyoko is French and it's got that same kind of look to it.
Yeah,
Yeah. They
it's
just like
totally
kind
CG
of
Code Lyoko,
sit
but
around
like,
and talk for 10 minutes.
anyone
at a time.
listening who has watched that show, you can feel me on how nice that show is.
It's so bad. It was so bad.
I really
Stop
couldn't
it.
tolerate Code Lyoko. It
Stop.
was so rough.
No,
Like,
Code
the
Lyoko
main
is
character's powers
okay.
were I'm a cat man who has a dart. I am a like geisha girl with a fan.
She was the only Asian character, so of course she had to be like this weird ninja-esque girl.
See, I couldn't even
And
tell that
then-
she was Asian. I thought that was just like
No.
a racist thing.
No. She was Asian. She was Asian, and that was the only race that they actually acknowledged on the show. I think everyone else was
Her
just, like, a
forehead
French
was
kid.
everyone's forehead was just giant in that show. It's bigger than the rest of their face.
What's that one picture of like that girl Umi, her head just crashing into the side of the earth.
That's one of those characters where we were seeing someone doing realistic skeletons of cartoon characters, like what it would look like if you saw the inside of their bodies based on their head shape.
I've seen like tons of those.
It's like As Told by Ginger is super messed up and super scary because it's just a giant orb.
She was kind of messed up and super scary just regularly, though.
That's true. As Told by Ginger. Yeah,
that theme song was the worst.
Wait, which one? As Told by Ginger?
As Told by Ginger. As Told by Ginger. And Code Lyoko. They're both pretty bad, but like as Told by Ginger, it sounds like the woman just like smoked a blunt and rolled out of bed. Like they're not even words.
Code Lyoko sounded like an Eiffel 65 like D track.
It did. Yes. It totally did. They made that live action, by the way, and it's still like really uncomfortable because they're like all like 20 years old, and then one kid's like 12.
Wait, what? There's a live action version of that?
There is.
Did you actually watch that?
I watched like 3 episodes because I was like, I want to know what happens to my favorite characters, but it's all in French, and I was like, fuck this shit. I'm done.
Oh my god, I'm finding it right now.
Yeah, Code Lyoko live action.
I thing I never wished for, but now I do. But yeah, it reminds me of like the whole idea of like an open environment where there's just a few trees and some desert, and then one villain bad guy monster that use the same model over and over again.
Yeah, I love how they tried to make Aelita the female protagonist with the pink hair, and she just looks like a troll doll. Like she doesn't fit in with any of the other characters at all.
Oh, I'm looking at it right now. Yeah, she was inside the game.
She was trapped. Her father trapped her inside his AI world.
Oh, I thought she was part of, like, she was coded in.
Yeah, I always thought that.
She was put in the world, but she couldn't get out, and then they finally got her out at one point.
Oh, wait, the live-action version then has CG also?
Yeah, the world is still CG, but the characters are live-action. I don't know why, but it is.
So it's almost like the actual Real Adventures of Johnny Quest. Do you remember that one? It was like 2002. And it would be 2D animation when they're in the real world, and then when they go into the Quest world, like that was the whole plot, that Johnny Quest's dad had invented like Second Life, basically. And a bad guy were fighting over Quest World, even though you had no idea why it was really important to have Quest World. And so when they went in, it was 3D CG models, but it's 2002, so it's just god-awful and awkward and ugly, and they're just, again, like in a void, just like nothing in the environment.
We've got
I like that Code Lyoko, the new one, kept the giant forehead.
They have. All the CG characters have giant heads.
Well, there's a creator probably who was like, this is my vision, this is my style. How dare you?
It's based off of a pilot called Garage Kids, and the CG for that one is even scarier. Let me find it for you.
Wait, the original Code Lyoko show is based off of...
The original Code Lyoko show is based off of a pilot called Garage Kids, and this was the CG in Garage Kids.
Okay, I need to watch that.
It linked it, yeah.
Oh my god.
And that was what they looked like.
Ah! Wait, this reminds me. Okay, I've been trying to piece this story together. I wanted to before we talked about Sonic. I don't have a full grasp on it, but the Ken Penders saga with Sonic is so amazing to me. Do you guys know about Ken Penders?
Is that like the new one?
Alright, so this is a very, very short breakdown of... I don't know if you guys read these Sonic comic books. I read
them for a while. I read up to the 20th anniversary editions, and I just stopped.
Yeah, I read them all the way through until like 120, and then I stopped, and I've gone back, and now around like 180 when it finally got good again. So there's a man named Ken Penders, who I remember his name because he wrote like all of them. He wrote so much of the Sonic comics, like from the very beginning. And he's been responsible for a lot of like fleshing out these like stories where like you learn about Knuckles and learn about all of the Echidna Island, and he basically started to create in the later years of the Sonic comic just this like soap opera about Echidna politics, and like it wasn't even fighting Robotnik anymore, it was just about Echidna's infighting and Civil War. It was like,
is it like fan fiction territory?
It was
like, is
getting,
that what he,
yeah,
like,
but
that's
it was
basically
in the
all
Sonic
I consider
comics.
The Sonic comics. Like this is just fan fiction.
No. The comics were great.
That's true.
But it just started to go downhill as like the teams change, and they were just at one point Tails. We'll just set this aside for another time when we talk about all this. At one point, Tails becomes a being called Turbo Tails.
I've seen that.
You've seen that. That's like when they took these ideas, like 5 or 6 years earlier, there had been a prophecy that Tails would like actually help save people, and it's like, okay, cool. And then another writer's like, so what if Tails becomes like the Hulk, and he's called Turbo Tails, and he blows people away with his tails like a giant fan? Like, that's fan fiction. That's just straight up 12-year-old fan fiction. But Ken Penders is responsible for creating like basically a few okay characters, like the female Knuckles opposite, like his love interest, and then like 1,000 other characters that no one ever gave a shit about. He created them for Sonic and Archie Comics, and normal comic rules are that like if you create them for a publisher, you know the publisher owns them. If you make a character for Marvel that like fights Spider-Man, Marvel now owns that character. That's just kind of the standard rule.
Yeah.
So eventually, Ken Penders said he wanted to like own all of those characters after he left Archie. And Archie's like, no, you dummy. These are all Sonic characters now. Like, you don't own them. And it became this huge legal thing for, like, a couple years. And if you start to, like, really dig into it, you can see all these terrible things where, like, Ken Penders, just an awkward... just so you can picture him. You need to picture Ken Penders. Hold on.
He doesn't have a picture on his...
He looks like, just like a goddamn... what's the neighbor from The Simpsons? He looks like... Flanders sometimes, or sometimes he looks like this, which is like a Badger Man. Not to be mean to Ken Penders, but not a guy you want to have hanging out.
Badger Man.
So Ken Penders was going to start suing them and like making all this like other promotional stuff about how he was going to like re-release the Echidnas on his own comic. And there's also weird stuff where like Sonic would have a random adventure with this like weird human girl with cybertech powers. And it wasn't until years later that I realized that was one of Ken Penders' original characters that he wanted to spin off into his own comic book series. So he was just like inserting his original works into the Sonic mythos to try to like get people excited about his shitty stuff. So he leaves. It's this giant legal snafu, and in the last couple of years, Archie finally decided like it's not worth it. They just burned away all of the characters that Ken Penders had ever created, where there's an issue where there's a new character who's like a Tasmanian devil, like a bounty hunter. Yeah. Kind of like Knack from Triple Trouble.
Yeah.
The Tasmanian devil character has a portal ring, and at some point he basically takes all of Knuckles' family, all the Echidnas, and everyone else that Ken Penders ever created, and puts them in a portal dimension, and then closes the portal and says, "That's it, goodbye," and then he just leaves. And there's like Knuckles like, "What? You just killed all of my family?" He's like, "Yeah, they're in a dimension. You're never gonna see them ever again." And just like laughs at them.
They're in a dimension.
Yeah, so that way they never have to get in trouble because they're not doing more stories with them, and they just like killed them off for dramatic effect. But like I'm talking about hundreds of characters were just essentially in a bus that went over a cliff. Like that's what they just did.
That's so awesome.
That's something else. I'll tell you that. Oh, God.
But the CG models, the reason we remember that is so Ken Penders has been wanting to do his own imprints with those characters. Like, he's just making his own promotional stuff. It is the most horrifying thing. So I'm going to send you a link to... Lian Da was one of the main characters from the Knuckles, or Laura Sue was like his actress.
Yeah, I remember.
This is what Laura Sue looks like that he's making for his own promos.
Oh no. Oh my god.
That is fucking terrifying.
Oh my god. Oh my god. I've seen this picture, but I didn't know what it was from.
You know what the context was?
Now I know the context, and it makes it even better. It makes it... This is like the scariest shit I've ever seen. This is like something you find on DeviantArt when you search like Sonic the Hedgehog, and like... This is what you get. This is just the tier of it, and oh Jesus!
I just looked up what she looked like in the comics.
Oh yeah,
and
yeah.
It's like nothing anywhere close.
Yeah, she just looked like a female echidna, and she's actually kind of cool and badass. And
I remember this. I remember her.
She had like a weird quad barrel gun that was really sweet.
Oh my god, that's so great.
So that's Julie Sue, not Laura Sue. But yeah, they're all like. There's just a bunch of echidnas. It was really hard to follow. Like if you think Game of Thrones. And all of the ancestors were there to follow. It was so convoluted, so they just like worked it all out.
God, this is something else. I'll tell you that much.
I had a really
I want Linda in the Sonic Boom cartoon.
Well, you gotta go through Ken Penders. You gotta go through Ken Penders.
We gotta kickstart it. We gotta kickstart it. We gotta get it on change.org. That's what we gotta do. Put Lienda in what's it called? Just the teeth. The
And just reach out to Ken Penders. Also just having like big old white teeth is horrifying. So this is my awkward Ken Penders encounter a couple years ago at Wizard World, which is now just like Chicago Comic Con. There's Artist Alley, right? Have you guys ever been to one of those?
No.
Chicago has like a section. Oh, Jimmy said he'll be right back. Hold on, Jimmy. We can wrap this up. Sorry, you gotta do birthday stuff.
I do have to clean.
What are you doing for the birthday?
Austin and Danny are coming over, and I'm making meatballs and frying some chicken wings.
Sounds
which
awesome.
I've never done before. I've never deep fried anything, so I'm excited.
Wait,
to
how
use
are you
it.
frying it?
I've got this mini little deep fryer that I've had for like a year and I've never used.
Are you doing it in the kitchen?
Yeah.
Word of advice, as someone who's done that before, open up all of your windows.
Oh yeah, every time I cook, I always do.
Because I have friends who do this kind of like yearly fry party, which is great, but it's essentially everyone brings over anything you think that would be good fried, and he just has 4 or 5 fryers going.
That's why I got the thing, is I wanted to fry everything I ate.
You should get some Oreos for tonight. If you're gonna fry some stuff, that might sound crazy.
I don't have. What do you use for batter on that?
Same stuff you would for chicken.
I'm putting like hot spices in my.
What did I
maybe.
come back to?
We're talking about frying Oreos.
How did we get from Lienda to
He asked me what I was
Oreos?
doing for birthday stuff.
Oh, okay. Is this gonna be in the thing?
I don't know. We'll see how.
We were breaking for you because you went to go somewhere.
Yeah,
so
the
we waited.
the doorbell rang.
Oh, it's all good. We'll wrap it up really quick. I'll just tell you my Ken Penders story real quick. So
Continue.
At Comic-Con they have like an artist alley thing. So there's like the big vendors and like Marvel and DC, and then you can just go to where like individual artists set up a small table and you could buy their prints, or they'll do like a commission for you. Sometimes they're really cool and sometimes they're just super sad. Like they're just publishing they printed it out themselves and this is their comic and it's just, please buy it. Like it's that kind of range of stuff. And I happened to walk through several years ago and ran across this guy who had a bunch of the original penciled pages for Sonic comics that I had. Like I recognized all these pages, and I realized the guy I'm talking to is Ken Penders. And this is before the Knuckles like lawsuit thing, so he hadn't written for them anymore, but he was still okay.
Yeah.
Hadn't started to sue them, and so remember I told you how Ken was always trying to work in his own original characters into the Sonic comics?
Yeah.
Including, by the way, an issue called Sonic Live, which was a special issue that cost more money, where Ken's kids get to hang out with Sonic. It's legitimately Ken's 2 children, and Sonic comes to the TV and just hangs out with them. Like, why am I reading this adventure?
I'm looking at the cover art of
Sonic
it now,
Live.
and it's like this is like a demon movie.
Yeah,
this is what it looks like.
It was not good, but like it was just this like, I don't know why I had to read about these 2 kids can hang out with Sonic when I want to. Yeah, you just sent it over.
It's like, help these children, please.
He's like
they're in
he's like
danger.
dragging him into the TV.
Yeah.
But that was realized later that was just Ken's children and like photos of him in the comic. So Ken's ridiculous. But one of the characters was this like high-tech cyber girl who looked like she'd been from an Image Comics, where she had like a crystal crown thing, and she just seemed to be like Jubilee but with nothing interesting about her. So he's standing at this booth, and there's an elderly, kind of pretty Asian model lady that he has paid to cosplay as that character to promote his next comic. But they're just in Artist Alley, so just this like super awkward thing. Like, it's okay. So he has all of these original penciled pages, and I'm like, I'll buy these. They're $10 or $20 each. Like this is my childhood right in front of me. The actual pages, and there's some really sweet ones of like Robot Sonic and like the giant like 20-story Mecha Sonic from the Chaotix issues. Super geeking out about it. And he has pages that he drew, because he also drew some of them. He was not very good. And he also has pages from a guy named Spaz, who is like the best Sonic artist. He did all the covers, and just kind of like there's not a better Sonic artist than like Patrick Spazzanti.
Yeah.
I'll send you an example of one of his images real quick. He was just so fucking good. Let's see. He would draw like, this is one that I had on my birthday cake when I was 14. I had this. Maybe not 14, maybe 12. But there's like this Mecha Sonic. He's just really good at drawing Sonic.
I
in a certain
totally
style
thought
to
you
him.
were gonna say maybe not 14, maybe like 20.
Maybe it was this year. But anyway, he's like a really good Sonic artist, right?
Yeah.
And so he has those in there, and then also like Ken's issues that aren't nearly as well drawn. And so I'm trying to awkwardly do this thing where like I'm not making it obvious that I'm only picking Spaz's and not his, because he's just selling them. He's just selling them for like $10 to try to make some money. I was like, oh man, these like 8 of them are really good, but I can only get like 4 of them. Maybe I like I'll just like blindly close my eyes and just swap them around a little bit and like figure out which ones to get. I was just trying so hard to not make it obvious I wasn't getting his pages that I made it super obvious.
Yeah.
And just quickly gave him my money and like walked away and thanked him very much for being a huge part of my childhood, even though now he's a crazy person. But yeah, that's Ken Penders.
That is, I feel so educated now. I'm glad I know all of that.
Sorry to bring that all on your.
No. I now know that I really want this Lyenda person in something.
The Sonic
Is he
comics
actually making a show or something?
No, I don't. There's no one I think interested in it at all. And also the fact that like if he actually got something developed, I think the fact that they're all probably still owned by Sonic or by Archie Comics is nothing would get through. It would just be like a network would have to love the idea so much that they say not only are we going to go on this weird offshoot guy who freaks us all out, we want to go to legal war with Archie Comics and Sega to get.
It could be a horror movie. Like it looks that scary.
Yeah.
I like how you end it with like the execs are just like, he freaks us the fuck out. Like,
he's just there in the corner, like picking his belly button or something. Just
like drawing like porn of his own characters in the office, and you're like, Ken, we need to talk about the like laws that the labor union has put in.
I have an episode idea. It's just Lyenda gets fucked for 20 minutes. No, Ken, no, Ken.
Tails and Lyenda have a thing.
Yeah,
Tails gets fucked in the ass by her quills for 20 minutes straight. No commercial breaks. It'll be one that we could play at maybe 6 o'clock in the morning before the kids wake up. It'll be good.
I would
that kind of thing's allowed on Kickstarter, right?
Yes, no, you totally could do a Kickstarter for it. I think we should start.
Okay.
I would be happy to educate you guys more eventually on weird stuff from the Sonic comic that's weirdly political.
I feel like I should read them. Is there a way to read them online? I never read them.
I don't think so. I'm sure there's someone who has a digital archive. We should try to find them to find like.
I've read
issues.
like a bunch. I have a bunch of them sitting right across from me right now. I think I have like a good 100 of them.
The new ones are solid. Like, the new team is like they've retconned all of the shitty stuff out and they're like making it good again. They're kind of trying to tie it into video games, which could be good or bad. Like they're connecting it to like Lost World now or something like that. But there's some like crazy stuff. There was issues where they like teamed up with like Image Comics, and so like Sonic and Spawn meet up, and they just like stare each other down, like weird shit like that.
I
always wanted to read them,
crossover.
but I could only get the actual, like the regular Archie comics, so I never got to read them.
I will just start shipping them over to you one by one.
You should read, if you can only read the regular Archie comics, read Afterlife with Archie, this weird zombie apocalypse version.
Is that a new thing that's actual?
Yeah.
They did the
and Sabrina
future
the
Archie
Witch
where they
brings
killed
back
him.
to life.
Really?
Then,
I know they did the rule. Is it Rule 63 for gender swap? Is that what it is? Or
I don't remember. It's a rule of some sort.
Yeah, whatever it is. They did the gender swap episode or issue where it's Archina and everyone's different genders, and oh my god, is female Jughead the hottest thing in the world? Because it's just like a hot like punk girl who loves hamburgers. She's just like Dream Girl.
Well, you know they killed off Archie.
I heard that. Did it actually happen so far?
It was in like a series called like Life with Archie, which is supposed to be like Archie in the future or some crazy thing. And I think he gets shot.
People still read this.
Yeah.
I still see Archie comics at like the store and stuff.
Yeah, I just never see anyone buy it.
Apparently, they're like one of the most progressive companies. Like they just do tons of shit. I think they were one of the first ones to go digital and everything.
Interesting.
Yeah, see,
people are a
there's
little too
dead Archie
going to the store.
Wait, Archie gets assassinated the same. Like that's that's bleeding from the stomach. A crowd running. Did Archie get killed on like peace demonstrations?
He must have.
Did a cop like fire?
Yeah. That must be what it is. He got sniped or something. I'm not sure.
That's the exact same cover as when Captain America got killed by a sniper. That's amazing.
Is that what happens?
There's a side tangent. They're after Marvel's Civil War, where Cap and Iron Man go to war with each other, and everyone's fighting. A bunch of superheroes like fighting each other nearly to the death. Few people dying. You think that's when Cap would die, right? He actually dies the next issue after Civil War when a random sniper kills him. And then they bring him back by saying
Took a long time.
Yeah, it just snipes him like leaving the courthouse. And they bring him back by saying the bullet was like a time bullet, so it put him in another
time bullet.
It's something ridiculous like that.
It wasn't a life model decoy.
No, it's just like he was dead. He wasn't dead. He was just like teleported to another time, and he came back. You're welcome, because the Avengers movie is coming up.
I hate superheroes.
Oh my god!
All right,
But
you guys have anything else you want to bring forward for Sonic? Because Ian's got to go celebrate his birthday.
Yeah.
We didn't even talk about the movies.
Oh shit!
Oh yeah. They're making
Movies.
that Sonic movie.
Wait,
thing.
movies?
Movies. Apparently, they were wanting to do yearly releases.
Really?
We're fucked, guys.
I read that they were. Hold on.
I know
they're
that
doing
of the writers of the first Sonic movie, really random choices. They didn't have. I don't think any major credits other than they had a script on the Blacklist, which is kind of like the hot Hollywood scripts that everyone's talking about. And they had written a movie called Chewie. I'm trying to find it so I can read it. But it's a satirical Star Wars look at Peter Mayhew, the guy who played Chewie, while they shoot Star Wars. So it's like a parody of the production of Star Wars. And they hired those guys to make the Sonic movie. So maybe that's okay. They're like comedy writers.
I don't know. It's part live action, and I saw that Sonic fan film, and I was terrified. So nothing...
the one with Jaleel White and Nostalgia
That one
Critic.
is kind
yeah,
of terrifying.
Yeah, it was something else.
I don't really. I have pretty low I want to enjoy this like I enjoy the Super Mario Bros. Movie, where I know it's terrible, but I like it anyway. I don't expect something amazing.
I didn't know it was gonna be live action.
It could be amazing. They're blending live action with CGI.
So it's gonna be like Smurfs.
Yeah, that's what they said. They were like,
Yeah.
it's gonna be like Smurfs.
That means Sonic's gonna hang out with like human characters.
Sonic and Neil Patrick Harris.
Neil Patrick Harris is a new.
I would
ad.
watch that movie. I would watch that movie like 5 times.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, I'm just trying to picture that.
The studio already has plans for one live-action CGI hybrid per year until the money stops flowing in. So maybe just one.
Might be.
We'll see.
We might be getting a Sonic cinematic universe. I think that's what
Wow.
we're getting.
So you think the end of the first Sonic movie, they like cut to an island somewhere, and that's like the reveal of Knuckles,
Oh Jesus!
right?
Wait, are we
my
talking about the
God.
anime one?
I'm talking about the live action ones.
Oh, how many live-action Sonic movies were? Oh, you mean
The one they're working on.
the one they're
like,
working on.
Like after the first one, it's just like, what do we do now, Sonic? And he's like, I don't know, Tails. And like it cuts to like a dark room, and then all of a sudden 2 red eyes show up, and it's like, oh my God, Metal Sonic! And like you and I, Chad, are the only ones in the crowd. Like,
Just go, yeah!
yeah, and everyone else is like, I'm never letting my kids into the movies again.
Yeah, I'm thinking like the end of
I
Iron
hope this
Man.
comes out near like a convention and we can go see it together.
Oh.
That's
Please.
exactly what I want. Or we could just all take the trip out to New York, because I'm not getting the fuck out of here. I'm not getting out. Have fun, guys.
I'm going to the Sonic movie premiere in New York. Don't worry.
Wait,
about
oh
it.
my God, I would totally do
We
that. I would
could
camp out.
totally get that. We could get that. We could be like, we're doing coverage for our Sonic Society.
We have to go in costume or something like that.
Yeah, we all
you
go
guys-
as Sonic.
you guys can
Chris
get, like-
Thorndike, and so I could just wear like human clothes, and then you
Yeah,
guys
and
can dress
Chad
up
can
as,
get like
fursuits.
can start working out his chest muscles, but not his legs.
Yeah,
and then
no legs.
Go as Knuckles, and I'll just wear a scarf, and I'll be Sonic.
Jimmy, you want to go as Amy?
No, I'm good. I'll be Chris Thorndike from Sonic X. I won't be relevant anymore, but at least I can wear human clothes.
The fact that you remember his name is impressive.
I know every
I remember his
Sonic
name, but he
character.
still wasn't even really that relevant during the show. I'm pretty
he's
sure
like the
everyone hated
gateway
him.
character. Everyone did hate him. Everyone hated him.
Yeah, you're gonna hate every kid. It's the same like with Transformers. I don't think you need to have the I'm just a kid who gets to hang out with these awesome things, because then you just
But
want to
how
be
are you
that
going to
kid.
relate? How can you relate if there's not a kid that's just around when all these awesome things happen?
You could totally jump on board. I know you're being sarcastic.
I like
yeah.
how Sonic X has this like kid who lives in a huge house but is so just upset that he can't have a friend. I'm like, dude, if I lived in a huge house like that, fuck friends, alright? I have anything I want. I've got my racist Asian butler stereotype, and I have my racist, almost African-American maid stereotype. I can just hang out with them. They sound way more interesting than any friend I could make in 5th grade, okay? So, if I was Chris Thorndike, I would stop fucking being a bitch.
Oh,
That's
guys,
what
I was just, within 10 seconds of trying to find stuff about Chris Thorndike, I found fan art of Chris holding a baby Silver that he and Sonic created.
Oh, I want to see that.
Please link this. Make it the thumbnail for this video. Please.
That was almost instantaneous.
Yes. How could this happen? I used protection. Oh my god, this is perfect.
Alright,
This is the best.
I have an idea of how to end this, and maybe we should do this every time. Whenever the Sonic Society... By the way, like, I think we're just deciding when Sonic Society should convene when something important happens.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. When we're needed.
Yeah.
Okay.
We form when we need it.
That sounds good.
Unless you have anything else to say about the movie, because there's so few details, I would like to wrap it up with some Sonic fanfiction.
Oh my god.
Oh boy. Did you write this?
No. Oh, no. I think,
Can we
I think
write some
we should
Sonic
write some,
fanfiction
yeah.
for the next episode?
I totally think we should write something creative for the next ones.
Okay.
Okay.
This one is called Are You Serious? By Lexi Chick 08.
Thank you.
And I'm
Lexi.
jumping halfway into it because it's a short story. But in this story, Amy goes on Mori to find out if Sonic is cheating, and the results are surprising.
Are we reading it, or are we gonna share it with the audience?
I was going to read it out
Like a
loud
link?
for you. But
Okay, let's
Please
read it.
do.
Can we please?
It can
read
be.
it?
What did we start out with? The audio things. Can you like tap some boots, or, like,
Yeah,
brush
just
your hair or
scratch
something
around.
while this is going on?
Sonic approached the podium. Like that, just like that. Okay. I'll just... Yeah, I got this. Alright, you guys ready?
Yeah.
So you're entertained. Actually, I'll send you a link in case you want to read along. But I'll read that too. Okay. Maury said, "Everyone welcome Mary Lynn." The live audience cheered. Maury stood up and walked to the stairs, and a red echidna walked down the stairs and shook Maury's hand, then sat in a chair next to Amy. Maury sat in his chair and asked, "So, Mary Lynn, you said that you saw Sonic kissing a girl at the mall?" "Yes, Maury. I just saw him smooching it up with her, just squeezing her butt, too," Mary Lynn exclaimed. Maury laughed, as did the live studio audience. "So he was squeezing her butt, too?" "Yes! Let's see what Sonic had to say." The crowd booed, and a picture of Sonic came up, and he said, "I did not cheat on Amy. Amy is the love of my life." A picture of Amy came up with her arms by her side. "I didn't take the money. Someone must have came in and took it. I haven't touched it. Amy's friend, Mary Lynn." A picture of Mary Lynn came up with her arms crossed. Sonic continued, "Is a it's censored. Liar. I didn't kiss that girl by Victoria's Secret, and I'm gonna prove it. Soon, Amy's gonna find out that her best friend is a liar, and me and Amy are gonna be happy like we were when Mary Lynn didn't shove herself in the picture. I'm gonna pass this test and rub it in Mary's face."
Oh my
How are you guys feeling with the story so far?
It
I'm
feels
loving
like
this.
I don't think it's as good as the one quote I saw where Sonic says, "Fuck you, Knuckles. There is no God." Like, that's just a quote I read, and that's all I needed for the day. Like, it was
I'm hoping
pretty
that
good.
the people making the live action movie find this and be like, "Man, we got to make this a scene in the movie."
Sonic, did you squeeze Styx's butt in front of me by the tree? No, Amy,
So
I
he
didn't.
squeezed her butt?
You guys want to find out if Sonic's the father?
Yeah.
I would love to know.
Okay. Mary Lynn growled as Maury announced, "Let's bring out Sonic." The live audience booed as Sonic walked out and pointed the middle finger, but the cameras blurred it out. Maury shook Sonic's hand.
The attention to detail here
No.
is unmatched.
Lexi, you are a fucking
I
artist
would have
here.
imagined the middle finger, but just when I start to, it just blurs out of my mind. It's just gone.
Maury shook Sonic's hand as Mary Lynn stood up and moved Sonic's chair a few feet away from her and Amy. "So, Sonic, you said you love Amy with all your heart and that you've never cheated on her before?" Yeah, Maury, I tell you, me and Amy used to be happy before Mary Lynn started jabbing her jaw around. Not a thing Sonic ever says.
Jabbing her jaw around.
Oh my god.
Mary Lynn stood up and ran at Sonic. Sonic stood up and walked back as security held her back. Mary Lynn sat down and Maury continued, So, Amy, who do you believe? To be honest, I believe Mary Lynn. Sonic's face went to shock and Mary Lynn smirked.
Went to shock.
Why do you believe Mary Lynn? Maury asked. Well, because Mary Lynn is like my sister. She has never told a single lie to me. She always was right. Amy stated very seriously.
she was always was right.
Can we jump back a little bit
Yes.
to let the viewers know that every time we've said the word "to," she's just used "to," not "to"?
Yes, definitely. There's a lot of grammatical
there have been
errors.
several other grammatical errors, but we finally got into one that's recognizable by the
I
audio.
think she was always was right.
She was always was right.
Pretty much the best sentence I've ever
Amy
heard.
stated very seriously, she was always was right.
Okay. Maury said, Okay, I see. Oh, look, I have the results now. Let's see. The live audience cheered, and Maury continued, Sonic, we asked you if you have ever stolen Amy's money to go pay prostitutes to have sex with you. You said no. The lie detector confirmed that was a lie.
Wait, was he lying that he had?
Wait.
Or, like, was he lying that... Was the sentence they gave him a lie?
If you had ever stolen money to have sex with you, you said no.
So he has.
You has gotten
Oh my
prostitutes.
god.
Yeah.
Sonic, you dirty 15-year-old.
The crowd owed while Amy looked over at Sonic, and Sonic just shook his head. Amy stood up, walked over to him, and yelled, Are you for real? Are you serious?
The crowd Oed.
Next question, Sonic. We asked you if you kissed that girl by Victoria's Secret. You said no. The lie detector determined that was a lie. Mary Lynn stood up and yelled as the crowd went crazy. I told you, you beeped out liar. Okay,
Oh my
final
God.
question, Sonic. We asked you if you had ever cheated on Amy with another woman. You said no. The lie detector determined that was a lie. Oh my god!
What were the last
Amy
two
cried as she ran
questions?
backstage.
The last two questions already made us know that was a lie. Why did we need a third one? Oh my god. Well, maybe the prostitutes were dudes. Maybe that was it. But, like, Mary Lynn, whoever the fuck this is, like...
You remember Mary Lynn?
No, I don't.
Yeah, she was on Maury that one time.
With Amy and Sonic.
Yeah, with Amy and Sonic.
Mary Lynn is an original character for sure. Meanwhile, backstage, Rory walked backstage and found Amy laying on a couch with her head into the pillow, crying. Hey, Amy. Amy looked up and Maury helped her to her feet and asked, Are you going to stay with this man? No, not in a million years, she stated. Sonic came up and said, I'm sorry, Amy, just listen. Nope, I have had enough. Just get away from me. Sonic followed her and tried to hug her, but she kept backing away. Amy yelled, Stop! Stop following me! Security! And that's the end of the story.
What's this last
How
part?
are there no comments?
Are there no comments on this?
There are no comments on this.
I feel like someone just actually looked or watched an episode of Maury and just changed the names.
That might have been what happened.
This is rated M, by the way, so we're gonna have to restrict who watches that
Yeah, we'll have to
video.
warn
That
people.
was
We'll put up an
very-
age gate on the video, don't worry.
English.
16 plus.
Rated fiction M. English. Romance/hurt/comfort. That's the genre.
Warning, there may be hurt.
So Amy, the description is, so Amy goes to Maury to find out if Sonic
Goes
is
to
cheating.
Maury show.
To Maury,
Maury show.
Goes to Maury show to find out if Sonic is cheating. The results are surprising. Rated M for later chapters, and pairings are Shad Amy, SBO XOC, Mighty XOC. Enjoy R&R.
Oh wait, there are reviews.
Oh, wait, there are more chapters.
What happened
for
to
this.
Amy? Is she pregnant? That was so romantic. I hope the next chapter comes very soon. Oh, I loved that Shad Amy moment. I can't wait for the show like Maury to come back, or the story could continue like that. I enjoyed it.
Raquel, the writer,
all
says,
three
how
were this-
exciting, write more.
Where do we read the reviews?
Oh wait, this is Mary Lynn is the person that is reviewing these chapters.
She's Mary Lynn the Echidna, and she got put into the story.
I hate this. I hate this.
Please write more. I'm looking forward to know what's going to happen next.
Next time we should read a story where Sonic's an atheist.
I would love to find that.
Can we make a show where we just read Sonic fanfiction?
That's what the next episode should be if we don't have news.
I think we could do that.
Yeah.
That was the best thing ever.
It took me 2 minutes to find this story.
Just type in
Number
Sonic
3
on
is
this
called
website.
Shadamy Lemon.
I have one right here. It's one
She
paragraph.
let out a moan as he squeezed her
What?
breasts.
Oh my god. Here we go. Let's see. Sonic the Hedgehog. Description with 4 Sonic characters. In the begging, Sonic and Tails were trying to beat Eggman. They got the there's no punctuation. I'm not. There is no punctuation. In the begging, Sonic and Tails were trying to beat Eggman. They got the cyan laser where you could do the laser. Then they got the cyan laser where you can do the laser, then in the sweet zone, and then get a yellow drill and an orange rocket. The yellow drill digs you underground and the orange rocket blasts you above. And you come down. Next they go to Starlight Canaveral. They didn't spell that right. Canaveral. And you get blue cube and green hover. Then with the blue cube, you can change the ring inside, and changes to the blue cube is on the inside, and vice versa. And green hovering.
Jimmy, what are you saying anymore?
I don't know what I'm reading.
I totally you lost me very early.
I
on
can
that.
tell they're describing the powers from Sonic Colors, but I'm very lost.
Green hub. Here we go.
I think that's all they're doing is describing.
Green
the
hover
powers.
brings you up and until it runs out, and then you go visit Planet Wisp. One day Sonic was versing Eggman in Sonic Colors, and they were fighting, and Sonic won. But the black hole that Eggman made was eating everything in its path and caught Sonic, but the Wisp saved Sonic and put Sonic back on his world. And then they left Tails, and he came, and then he was talking to Sonic, and then Yacker and his friends were talking, and then Tails was talking with his machine to Yacker. Then the Wisp stopped the black hole, and the Wisp went back to their homes, and the credits, and then you can the Wisp.
Thank you, Jimmy.
And then you can the Wisps.
Thank you, Jimmy. Can you link me that story, please?
I already did.
Thank you.
It's
Already
beautiful.
did.
I think we should wrap it up
and
there.
And you can the Wisps. And you can the Wisps.
You guys want to wrap it up there on that perfect note?
I think we're good.
That
I
was
think
beautiful.
we can end it on that.
Okay. I don't think there's anything else to say. We committed our sacrifice of a delicious Sonic fanfiction. We should definitely do more of those.
I can't breathe.
What did we learn today?
Ken Penders creeps me out. And
Yeah, I
really
learned
hope he
about that
watches
really
this.
sexy echidna. I don't remember the name already. I forgot.
Leenda, Julie Sue,
Yeah.
Lorida.
Leenda.
It's just those variations.
With the teeth.
Okay, I think we.
The teeth that looks like it's gonna devour somebody.
All right, I think we ended there.
Thank you for watching, everyone.